Hey YouTube, it's The Blind Scholar, and this is episode 1 of Black History Uncut. Please hit the like button and leave a comment down below to build engagement for my channel. And if you want to be notified when my next video drops, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon beside it. Now with all the housekeeping out of the way, let's discuss today's topic. James Armistead, later to be known by James Armistead Lafayette, was a slave-turned-American spy and double agent for the Continental Army during the Revolutionary War. Born into slavery around 1748 in New Kent, Virginia, under his master William Armistead, James's early life was uneventful for the most part until in 1781, 2 years before the end of the war, he volunteered to join the Continental Army with the permission from his master and served under Marquis de Lafayette, seen the picture here, and was quickly deployed as a spy. As a side note, slaves were allowed to join either side of the revolution depending on what side their masters were on. Later that same year, Armistead joined the camp of the infamous traitor Benedict Arnold, at first doing menial and small tasks around the camp until Arnold discovered his vast knowledge about the surrounding area, which was not suspicious for Armistead since his cover was that of a runaway slave. And quick side note, Benedict Arnold, seen the picture here, gave the British Army his military fortress at West Point, New York, in exchange for 10,000 British pounds, which would today be worth about 2,100 pounds, and a military commission as a brigadier general. Getting back to James, his knowledge of the area would later lead to him joining Lord Charles Cornwallis's camp, the main opponent of the Continental Army. He then fed the British Army false information while giving accurate information through handwritten letters passed to and from other spies for the Continental Army, which led to Lafayette and future President General George Washington to blockade Yorktown, Virginia, preventing 10,000 British troops from reinforcing Lord Cornwallis's camp, thus crippling the British offensive, leading to a swift surrender from the crippled commander in October 19, 1781, and an earlier end to the Revolutionary War is September 3rd, 1783. While many Americans were celebrating their newfound liberty from British rule in late 1783, James returned to life as a slave, and to his great disappointment, he found out that his spy work did not make him eligible for a Virginia law that was passed in 1783, which said that enslaved men who faithfully served agreeable to the terms of their enlistment and contributed towards the establishment of American independence would enjoy freedom for their labor. He went on to continually petition the Virginia legislature, which they ignored, that is, until his former General Lafayette provided testimony in a letter in 1784, which finally caught the attention of Virginia officials. Now, you can read the letter in the 6th paragraph in the link down in the description below. And as a result of Lafayette's actions, he was freed in 1787, and feeling grateful to his former general, added Lafayette to his name and was henceforth known as James Armistead Lafayette. Armistead went on to become a wealthy farmer in New Kent, Virginia, owning 40 acres of land, and was married and had several children, but due to the loss of county records, their identities are unknown. It is also recorded that he owned several slaves and received a pension of $40, that today would be about $2,700 and some change for his military service. Armistead died August 9th, 1830 in Baltimore, Maryland. So, a bit of my closing thoughts here. This is the type of Black history I wish they taught us in school, which is why I started this channel, to talk about the things never talked about in school and learn more about Black history before the civil rights. Because despite what they would like us to think, we did have history before the civil rights movement. We were very present and active in this country well before Malcolm and Dr. King were even born. It's been a very fun process learning about the historical Black figures that are never talked about nor heard of in the public school system here in the U.S. There are so many of them, and some, like James here, are very integral to American history. And let me address the fact that yes, blacks could indeed own slaves themselves. Let me go into a short, abbreviated explanation of slavery. Slaves, as we know, were property, and like property, they were considerably expensive and a sign of wealth. There was no such thing as a poor slave owner. So, if some free African Americans had a capital for it, they could and did buy slaves. After all, what businessman says no to free labor? Especially considering the fact that the South was mostly plantations and needed them for hard labor. In fact, the first legal slave owner was a black man named Anthony Johnson, who I will do a video on at a later date. With that little bombshell, I hope this video was informative. Don't forget to leave a like and comment down below. This is the Blind Scholar, bringing it into your ignorance. Peace out.